Welcome. You have reached review time with Emperiol. Today's review will be The Walking Dead World Beyond, Episode 8. Let's get into it. This episode is called The Sky is a Graveyard. So it basically picks up right off of the last episode where at the end of the episode they found Silas in a room shaking. Tony was dead, Percy's missing. So it picks back up and it's doing a flashback of Silas where we seen his backstory where he showed up to the campus and got a new start, but you never knew what exactly took place. So you did get to see that his dad was abusive. At one point, his dad and him and the mom had a good relationship. The dad became abusive, and during one of the days he became abusive, Silas blacked out, pretty much beat him up pretty bad, and the dad was dying. The neighbor came to the house and pretty much um, offered her help, but he wouldn't take it. And when he looked, the dad was upstairs, and the dad had turned to a zombie. So he pushed the dad up off him and went in his room and pretty much turned his music on and blanked out. Meanwhile, when he blanked out, he started hearing screaming. It was his mom, and so when he ran downstairs and he ran downstairs to console his mom, threw the zombie dad off of him, and pretty much took the zombie dad and banged his head against the wall till the dad died. And the mom kind of like, you could see the mom like terrified and rejected Silas at that point. During the course of the episode, you had the rest of the gang. They don't know where Percy is, and they're all deciding what should they do with Silas. Hope is kind of in between. Huck is talking to Felix, pretty much saying, "Hey, the team, they're not really gonna want to just leave him like that." You also see that Elton, he's like, Silas's family, we just can't ditch him like that. So during the course of the episode, you see, of course, we already know he's infatuated with Iris, and you see that a zombie has stumbled into the schoolyard where he's at, where they got him chained up at, and in the course of him panicking, he kind of freed himself, but he just didn't. He stayed there, and in the morning came. He waited till Iris came out and talked to him, and then he pretty much stood up and basically told her that, he apologized, that he's not what she thought he would be, and he said she doesn't want to believe that he killed Tony and Percy, and he pretty much said he doesn't really remember, but in his mind he killed Tony and Percy and leave it like that, and he gonna go about his business. So he leaves and goes about his business. Meanwhile, Elton makes the decision to say, "Hey man, he's failing. I can't leave him. I'm splitting from the group and I'm going to find him." And so Hope, at that point, Hope is saying, "Hey, don't leave." He like, "I just thought about it. My mom could be out there. My little sister could be out there." And then she broke down and she told him that the story, what happened with her, where she killed his mom on accident after his mom killed her mom. So, uh, she gave him the little necklace trinket she had and told him one day she hoped that he could forgive her. And that was the bulk of the episode. Decent episode. It kept you tuned in. Shout out to the creators of this series, that they stepped it up. The first couple episodes was character development, and then they picked it up, and now it's bringing more intrigue to it. And then we had the I don't want to say post credit, because it didn't. It just went after all that happened. It went straight to the next scene. We find out. Remember when a couple episodes ago when Huck said she was going to do some recon and see what was ahead of them, so she was able to dip off, and then you never knew where she went at. So you get to find out where she went at, And early in the episode, like episode 1 or 2, when Elizabeth Kublet came in, she stated that she had a daughter that was in CRM, and you didn't know who the daughter was, and now you get to find out that Huck is her daughter. And then when you see them together, and she basically saying is the asset on his way, and she said yeah, and then basically the mom is like debrief. They resemble. It's a resemblance there when you know it's like dang, why we didn't pick that up earlier? I didn't, at least I didn't. So you find out that Huck is working for CRM, and she's on the other side, and you just it goes back to when she Hope thinks that Huck is like her real true friend. So Huck kind of like gave Hope some pep talk, pretty much saying like you gotta stop at nothing to get um to find your dad. You can't let nothing stop you. You gotta convince Iris that nothing gonna stop y'all. So when you think of who the asset is, you don't know if the asset which one is the asset, Hope or Iris, which one. And I'm thinking it's Iris is the asset or whatever, because they didn't say assets plural, they just said assets. So you find out Elizabeth Kublat, her daughter is Huck, and Elizabeth gave Huck a watch and said the next time you could keep track of time, and gave her her dad's watch, and that's how it ended. So decent episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment on how you feel about the series so far. Is it picking up enough for you to stay tuned in? Till next time.